This is the state of the British media today. So on page 4, we have a massive multi-page spread about Katie Price. That covers them 2 pages in the Sun. And also it was on another 2 pages of the Sun as well about her celebrity life. Now, buried tiny in the corner, as you will see, there's a story about the Palestinian thug, action thug, who got just 7 years for fracturing a policewoman's spine with a sledgehammer. Today, we're going to look at why media is desperately trying to hide this story from you. So this thug, named Samuel Corner, 23, he was a former student at the University of Oxford. He was actually convicted of causing grievous bodily harm. And like I said, he fractured Sergeant Kate Evans' spine with a sledgehammer in this raid. So on the 12th of June 2024, the group known as Filton 4 were involved in direct action at the Elbit Systems factory in Filton near Bristol. They decided to break in there, and during the break-in and the raid, where they was trying to cause damage to stuff that was they believed was being sent to Israel or was being sent to Israel, they wanted to break it, smash it, cause damage as usual. But while that was happening, where the police was involved and they got in there to stop them, Samuel Corner decided to attack Sergeant Kate Evans. He attacked her with a sledgehammer. He fractured her spine. To have that intent to do that, I mean, and also in court, there was no sign of any regret, no shock of what he'd done. He only attempted to justify his actions, and they were like really offensive claims that she was complicit in genocide. Now, what is it with these people? They don't care who gets in their way for this argument of genocide. What about what they're doing to people? The lives they're destroying. Chief Constable Sarah Crew had said, "What happened that night changed the life of one of our officers. This has been deeply personal, painful, and lasting. It's important everyone realises that behind every uniform is an ordinary person, someone with a family, with responsibilities, and a life beyond the job." Also, Avon and Somerset Police and Crime Commissioner Claire Moody had said, "This was a deeply shocking and unprovoked, serious attack that has had a lasting impact on Sergeant Evans." Now, Amnesty International, after the judge's announcement, they come out and they try to sort of claim that the right to protest is the most effective tool that they have to hold leaders to account. And they reckon today that is a step in cracking down in this country against it. Now, they feel still that it's okay to cause that damage and that harm. If you look at the fact, though, you've even got Green Party leader Zach Palansky, good old Dave, coming out and saying, gut-wrenching to see 4 young people jailed for direct action against an arms supplier to Israel. And that he added the sentence was a truly dangerous attack on the right to protest. And there's also Labour MP John McDonnell, said that the scale of the sentence was truly shocking. Now, ask yourself this: if it was a right wing or some sort of right wing protester, and they did this to a police officer with a sledgehammer, would it be a tiny column in the corner of the paper? Do you really think so? Because I know it would be wall to wall in every newspaper, all over the news, BBC, Sky, Channel 4. It would be everywhere. There'd be public inquiries demanded. There'd be politicians coming out. And then what happened at court as well, though, afterwards, you had the typical people that are just laying down in the road trying to block the prison van. They live in a world where they think they can do this, and they think anyone on the right is the terrorist, and they are peace-loving people. It's just sheer craziness that they can actually think that they can actually get away with this. There was about 500 protesters gathered in demonstration supporting Palestine Action, and I believe that the Met Police said that 107 people had been arrested and taken into custody. Now, so if we look at the fact that we talk about two-tier policing, there's a lot of two-tier stuff that's going on in this country, and this is two-tier press coverage, basically. And they want to bury these stories, and it's the establishment's way of trying to control what the public is actually focusing on. I mean, if you can distract the public with crappy celebrity gossip, then they won't look at this rising tide of ideological violence, throwing out, I mean, like I said, 4 pages about Katie Price and what she gets up to. To be honest with you, I mean, she's had her day. That was like 20 years ago. I don't want to get into the stuff about her anyway. She has enough press that's not needed. But if the papers are burying this as well, like the mainstream news channels, this is what's driving this narrative that you get bog standard British and English people believing what they are being force fed. That's why they won't look at the views of some people on the right in a normal, ordinary way. They won't see them as level-headed and just acting normal. They'll see them as far right. That's why this ridiculous claim of anyone on the right is far right. They'll look at news stations like GB News, which is not always great, but it's the only news channel really mainstream that actually gives you some inside information and tries to tell the truth. But people judge that channel as far right. I mean, wow, I wish it was a bit more towards that way sometimes. Not far right, but more towards the right. But as long as this narrative gets fed to people, they'll believe it. But then I blame them people as well, though. You have to do your own research. You have to get up off your ass and sort of think to yourself, what is going on in this country? Why are there so many people angry? Why is all this happening? Do your own research. Don't just believe what you're force fed by the BBC, by Sky News, by The Sun, by them sort of papers, by these politicians, by these woke celebrities. They don't want to get cancelled, so they'll toe the line. Try and go against the grain, even just to research, dig deep. Then that will open up your eyes and you won't be able to shut them anymore. That is what's needed for this change, because this is, people are going to keep getting hurt. People are going to start dying more often. And it's from the left, the extreme left. It's not extreme right, it's extreme left that is killing these people. And I don't see how it stops. While they keep pumping out these stories and they keep hiding valid stories that need to be shown, that will continue and only get worse. especially over the next year, 2 years. It's going to get worse. There needs to be change. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you think that media is deliberately hiding these stories. And if you want a channel that calls out this sort of absolute madness, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Say it straight.